And I just now unmuted and I've been talking, so imagine that. So anyway, look at that. I'm right on time. Hey, can opener. Hey, Deb. Hey, Sirius. So, boy, it's been a week, hadn't it? Oh, can opener, boy. Can opener's got it going on tonight after the trolls and everything. So, I know that we've had a sentencing, we've had docs, we've had threats, we've had Olivia, you name it, we've pretty much done it tonight. I mean, this week. It's been a week. Hey, Dee Dee, it has been a week. But of course, we always start with a song, and this one is a new one. So I hope y'all enjoy it. So here we go.
We were the heartbeat of a summer's day, dreamers with laughter that won't fade away. We built our lives with hope in our hands, friends, lovers, souls with unbroken plans. Our voices rang out like a song in the air, bound by the love we were destined to share. But a darkness crept in with a cold, bitter sting, tried to silence the joy that our spirits would sing. Its empty shadow could never define the light we carry, the lives that were mine. We are more than the sorrow, more than the fight, more than the darkness that stole us from sight. Not just a memory lost to the pain. We're the fire that burns, will always remain. Oh, for those left behind, hold our light in your heart. We're the love that lives on, never torn apart. We chased our dreams under wide open skies, with courage that sparkled in bright, fearless eyes. Our homes were alive with the stories we told, warmth in our smiles, our future so bold. They thought they could end us, but they'll never see. Our spirits are endless, forever set free. That evil was nothing, a thief in the night, but we're the dawn that still carries the light. Not victims, not shadows, not bound by their lies. We're the hope that still shines in your tear-filled eyes. We are more than the sorrow, more than the fight, more than the darkness that stole us from sight. Not just a memory lost to the pain. We're the fire that burns, will always remain. Oh, for those left behind, hold our light in your heart. We're the love that lives on, never torn apart. No silent screams, no empty goodbyes. We're the warmth in your soul, the stars in your skies. Not a moment of evil, not a mark of despair. We're the dreams that you carry, the love in the air. Sing for us, live for us, let our spirits soar.
Well, that cut off abruptly. Supposed to be let our spirits soar. Sorry about that. So that's to always remind us why we're here. We're always here for the victims and always here for the families. So let's see. I saw something. Let's see who's come in. I see Jennifer. I see Kylie, PKC, Sirius, Dee Dee, Can Opener, and Deb. Thank y'all so much for being here. I don't think I missed anybody. Did I miss anybody? So it says something I noticed, probably been talked about, but Dylan's tall. Yes, I think she is 5'10", if I'm not mistaken. 5'9". Deb and them might can correct me, but I know I think she's like 5'9", 5'10". Xana was so naturally beautiful. Speaking of Xana, I'm not taking anything away from anybody, okay? Because none of them deserved anything. But if y'all think about it, Xana's childhood, and she pretty much clawed her way up from the bottom to make it to a sorority at a university. Her and Jasmine both, and she had finally made it. She was fixing to graduate. She had her Prince Charming. She had it going on. And I think that's the reason that it upsets me so much when people talk about that she was hooked on this and hooked on that, and she was selling drugs, and she was, because she had broke that generational curse. Her and Maddie both. And I think that, I mean, it breaks my heart for everybody. And I'm so glad that she did get to enjoy the love of friends and the things that she got to enjoy being at that house and being at that college and being able to enjoy being loved by the love of her life. So, and there's Miss Chloe. So, one of the things that we're going to talk about is my little tribute to our Miss Olivia, because I am all about giving tribute to a big badass bitch. And when I say big, I mean badass bitch. That wasn't a big joke because she ain't big. So, um, a lot of people want to say, well, talking about Dylan, talking about first of all, how do you critique an impact statement? This is a victim's impact statement, and you're going to critique it? How dare you? I mean, that's the first thing. But second is everybody's like, they should have used those impact statements to uplift the community. Screw the community. It wasn't about the community. It was about them. It was their day. It was the victims' day. The community can stand up on its own for one day. I mean, they're not the saviors. Sorry. So, I mean, screw everybody that's got a problem with it and screw everybody that thinks they're going to critique it. So, anyway, moving right along, let's go. I've got, these are little short ones, but I thought y'all would get a big kick out of them. So, I'm going to play the first one.
If you didn't have the chance to see the sentencing of Brian Kohlberger, one of the most powerful, by far, moments was Kaylee's older sister. If you need to be inspired today, and you need to see the most incredible strength of one single person in this world, I'm gonna put this clip on here for you to watch. And I have to tell you, I felt her anger, I felt her pain, I felt her remorse, I felt her frustration, But I have to tell you, her strength was second to none. Take a look at this video, and then you tell me exactly what you see.
The scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. Thank you.
So that's number one, and I thought that was pretty dang
As a
good.
trauma therapist, I need
Now,
to talk
this one
about
is gonna
what
be-
happened in that Idaho courtroom today with Kaylee Gonsalves' sister specifically. Her name is Alivea, because she just gave us a masterclass in refusing to be victimized twice. So if you've ever been victimized by somebody with some personality traits like Brian Kohlberger, take notes, because as she stood there, she made a choice that goes against every expectation that we have about victim impact statements. Instead of tears, she showed her fury. Instead of vulnerability, she chose power. Instead of giving him what he wanted, which was her pain, she gave him what he feared most, which was complete dismissal of his significance. And I mean no shade to anybody who shared vulnerability or tears. It's completely valid. But what she understood that most people miss is that individuals with narcissistic or antisocial traits don't just want to hurt you, they want to own your reaction. They collect your tears, your fear, your breakdown as proof of their power, and their emotional display becomes their validation. But Alivea refused to play that game, and she looked at someone who took everything from her family and said, "You don't get my tears. You don't get my fear. You get nothing." Then she did something even more psychologically devastating. She systematically dismantled every piece of his constructed identity. She called him ordinary when he believed he was exceptional. She called him basic when he thought he was complex. She called him a wannabe, and his entire ego depends on that feeling of superiority, assuming that he has a personality trait, which he probably does. For someone who likely views himself as intellectually superior, being called painfully average by his victim's family member cuts deeper than any emotional display ever could. And it's not just about the one case. This is about understanding that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to refuse to give someone the satisfaction of your pain, because your healing isn't their entertainment and your breakdown is not their validation, and your power was never theirs to take. So if someone has tried to make you feel small, or to feed off your reaction, or to convince you they hold power over you, remember this moment. Sometimes the most radical act is refusing to perform your pain for those who caused it. Your refusal to give them what they want isn't cold. That's powerful, and it is taking back what is yours. Again, I want to say that there's nothing wrong with anybody who shared vulnerability and pain. That is completely valid. But I am so glad that he was able to hear some statements like Alivea Gonsalves's, because she ate.
And some of these that I'm playing, like that one, I thought was really profound coming from a trauma therapist. I mean, that just goes to show that Olivia did so much more than just kick ass. I mean, there's trauma therapists that are saying, way to go, so, and, and now the next one, the next one, okay, number one, the next one, she does say some stuff that I wish she hadn't have said, but she's talking about the stepdad of Xana and the way that he was acting. She sort of kind of says that he may have been drinking, so that's not coming from me. I probably should have cut it out, but it's just between us, so But y'all, she's anyway, you'll understand.
I am just getting off, and honey, I could not wait. I damn near went to my car when I was done watching the shit because it was so hot off the freaking press. The BK family impact statements and the sentencing of this fool. And I ain't gonna say his name no more either. I'm gonna call him BK because that's what the Goncalveses said to call his ass. Some told me to take notes. And baby, when Steve Goncalves got up there and he turned that bench around and he faced that fucker head on, I said, oh, this is about to be good. Start taking notes, bitch. So I started taking notes. It started out real good, and everyone was giving their impact statements. It was nice. But I knew it was going to be turned when the Goncalveses got up there, honey. When that daddy faced him, first of all, I wrote down the whole family faced him, okay? So the daddy kicked it off. And baby, we all seen it. We all seen that sister, honey. Baby, she dropped the mic on that bitch. Dropped the mic on him. She told him Kaylee would have kicked your fucking ass. And you know what? Shout out to the judge. Because it was getting spicy. And I was like, is the judge gonna stop this? And then there was another daddy too. I want to say that this was Xana's dad. No. Xana's dad was drunk. Excuse me. This was Xana's stepdad. He said, I want to reach out to you. Hello, he wasn't talking about no motherfucking phone call. He was talking about, he said, I want to go in the woods. Let me go in the woods with you. He said, I ain't gonna unalive you. I'm not gonna unalive you because that would be ungodly of me. That's not for me to do. I am not the person to pass down judgment of when it's your time to go in life. So he said, but let me get you in the woods, honey. And then poor Xana's dad, I'm sorry, was drunk. And then when he made the statement about he was supposed to come over, but Xana told him don't come over because she didn't want you drinking and driving, I said, oh yeah, he drunk. Because honey, if Xana was telling you on November the 13th, don't drink and drive, honey, on July the 23rd today, he was drunk. Now, my condolences to him. I understand what he going through, but honey, he was definitely drunk. Xana's biological father was drunk up in the jail, okay? And I do see that some of the kids' dads, I want to say Xana's dad didn't seem like he was, around all the time, but they still had good relationship. It almost seemed as if like the child was stepped in as the parent. It was two dads like that, because one of the other dads said that he dealt with substance abuse issues also, and that I want to say it was Madison's biological father. So it definitely seemed as if Madison and Xana probably had something relating that they could have bonded over, with them being more of a parental figure to their fathers, who just probably didn't step into that fatherly role as they should have. But the girls never shunned them for it. It seems like the girls were good kids to their dads, and it was what it was. We all out here got fucked up daddies that we love, you know what I'm saying? I make a choice to be in my dad's life, but he ain't the best. But she called him, the sister, Kaylee's sister called him a wannabe, basic, pathetic, not profound. She said painfully average, dumb, stupid, sloppily clumsy. Baby, listen, I couldn't even, first of all, then the mama come through with the back door, and she said, I wish we could have let that firing squad get a hold to you. Okay? Then she said, the big D's in prison gonna get a hold to you. Okay? The big D's in the prison. Then, baby, the grandma Goncalves said that you are a demon from hell. Okay? It said burn in hell. And this was a written statement. She wasn't even there, honey. I said they definitely want him to die and get in jail. Listen, they got, and then I'm kind of concerned with whether or not the Goncalves, it seems like, baby, they kind of tapped in Idaho. They might know some boys upstate that's gonna touch him. You know what I'm saying? But I also said they need to be careful with that. They need to lay low a little bit because, you know, it is some hater ass cops that, you know, just do stupid investigations on people or whatever. They just don't want their names and nothing pertaining to Brian being unalived in prison. But it sounds like the Goncalves is tapped in, baby, and somebody might touch him in jail, and they might have had something to do with it. I don't want to say that, but it just seems as if it's some mob ties going on up in Idaho that I don't know nothing about. Okay, but they talked about the judge was in tears. The lawyer was in tears. They talked about, the judge said that he was an incompetent killer. How you gonna be an incompetent? Well, you got caught. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I wrote city swoon. I don't know, but you see my notes, okay? I was writing so fast, the shit looked like chicken scratch. I was writing so fast, the shit was good. This is how you do an impact statement right here. I mean, listen, you gonna get up there, you gonna cry, you sad, you gonna tell about how you know, memories of the person, but you know what? It's about time to start getting up there and really, I'm going the wrong day. Oh, no, I'm not. And really letting these sick fuckers have it. And baby, the Goncalves family, they didn't come to play. And Xana people didn't come to play either. That stepdaddy, he said, I want you, I hope you can feel. He beat on his motherfucking chest. He said, I hope you can feel the energy I'm surging through you. He said, meet me in the woods, you punk boy. That shit, I getting chills, because that shit was fire. That shit was fire. F-Y-E, fire. Put in the comments if y'all watched it. Put in the comments what y'all thought about it. We got to chat about this. This shit was fire. Fire, fire, fire. F-Y-E, goddamn. That shit, I was at work with the earpieces in. People, I had somebody message me on Teams talking about, you okay? I said, because baby, I was loud with it, okay? And I had to tell, I say, I'm listening to impact statements. You know, they know I'm true crime all day up in here. I was just listening to the impact statements on Stephen Stern's nasty ass. And I did make a video about that. I'm going to post that too. But, yes, let's chat it up in the comments, because this was amazing. This was amazing, honey. Yes, baby.
Okay. Now, I know in the beginning she said some stuff that probably shouldn't have been said. Luckily, I'm a small channel, so that many people won't ever see it. Probably just us 13. But I loved her energy about it. And I mean, she was just letting it go. So let's see, 2 little bitty short ones, and then we'll move on to business.
Scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your ass.
That was a victim impact statement at Brian Kohberger's sentencing. That was one of the victim's sisters telling him exactly what he is the most afraid to hear. That woman clearly paid attention when they talked about his psychological makeup and what is actually wrong with that disgusting creature upstairs. She dissected him for about 7 minutes straight and reduced him to nothing, which is what he always was. He murdered 3 girls and 1 guy in their sleep while they were in their beds, and now it's his turn because he's got 4 life sentences, and I guarantee you they're gonna return that type of treatment when he gets to prison.
And I don't know if y'all know, but that was JD DeLay on TikTok, and I think even on YouTube. He's got like over 1 million followers, so he's definitely out there screaming her name. Then there's another one that I think we all know.
Notes from Kaylee's sister. She got up there, and in my experience, most statements are more of a very sad, which is understandable, not shaming them at all. Very sad, emotional, almost sobbing recollection of who this person was and what they meant to them, and how much they are hurt and how sad they are that they're gone, and it's more of an appeal to the judge. Hey, judge, please don't take it easy on this sicko, right? Which I get. My light's flickering. Hang on. Which I get. But let me tell you something in this instance. Kaylee's sister, she's playing chess, not checkers. She went for the throat. She said, okay, Brian's taking a plea. We want him to go to trial. We want him to get the death penalty. He's taken a plea to avoid the death penalty. We don't get the death penalty. We don't get what we want. We don't get his testimony. We don't get answers. We don't get closure. We don't get the whys, the whats, the hows, everything we need and want as the family to move on and close this book of hurt. We don't get any of that because this idiot's taken a plea deal. So am I going to get up here and boo-hoo and you know, this and yah. No, because she knows, and again, no shame to anyone who did get up there and cry, and I mean, please, stay with me now. She said, I'm going to play chess, not checkers. That's what he wants. He loves to hear that. He's probably relishing in that. She said, I'm going to take a different route. She said, I'm going to hit him where it hurts. I'm going to attack his ego. I'm going to slice through his facade and who he thinks he is and who he tried to be, and cut him to pieces from the inside out. And that she did. He is never going to forget that speech. He is never. I'll probably never forget that speech. So I know every day in his cell, he will never forget that speech. And I'm honestly, genuinely surprised that he kept his composure the entire time, listening to the entire 6 minutes, over 6 minutes of that speech, and didn't have a single reaction, didn't lash out, because I know he wanted to. I just know he wanted to. I know it was eating him up, the things she was saying. Take a look for yourself if you hadn't seen it. I'm not going to play the whole 6 minutes, because I assume everyone's posting this because it's an amazing speech. So you might have already seen it, but I'll give you just a quick clip or two.
Did you recently start shaving or manually pulling out your eyebrows? If you were really smart, do you think you'd be here right now? What's it like needing this much attention just to feel real? You're terrified of being ordinary, aren't you? Do you feel anything at all? Or were you exactly what you always feared? Nothing. If you're so powerful, then why are you still hiding, defendant? You see, I'm here today as me. But who are you? Let's try to take off your mask and see. You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser. Who thought you were so much smarter than everybody else. Constantly scolding, turning your nose up to grammar mistakes, nitpicking and criticizing others. You wanted so badly to be different, to be special, to be better, to be deep, to be mysterious. You found yourself thinking you were better than everyone else, and you thought you could figure out the human psyche and see through it, all while tweaked out on heroin. Lurking in the shadows made you feel powerful because no one ever paid you any attention in the light. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your fucking... Thank you.
Thank you.
And for those of you who don't know, that was Jumpsuit Pablo. And if I'm not mistaken, he's got like 400,000 subs. So, I mean, she caught the attention of some really, I think Dee Dee said it best, diverse people. I mean, and from trauma specialists to ladies driving the Uber down the road and giving everybody hell to people out of prison. I mean, so that was my tribute to Olivia for her strength and for her just being a badass woman. So, y'all know how I feel about people that wanted to critique victim impact statements. Well, this next little 20-second clip will really get you going because it really pissed me off.
You turned that podium.
Little more than 20 seconds.
And I was in the courtroom. It was like, man, it's on now. Now, I mean, that really a moment. I first want to ask you though, and I noticed this. I was sitting behind you guys. And I saw Christy, your wife, pull out her phone and look sort of disturbed, and then you guys called the deputy over, and then he was looking at your phone, and I kind of figured something bad was going on, and it turns out that it was a threatening text message that she had received during the actual sentencing while the victim impact statements were going on. And I don't want to read the whole thing because I just don't want to give glory to, you know, whoever did this, but I do want to read a little bit so people can see what exactly happened. It says, sitting near you in court and watching you is a joke. You know that Brian is innocent, making threats threats to Brian about getting raped in prison was very silly. I am in contact with a lot of serial killers, including BTK, and I've been put in contact with a wannabe serial killer who is in Moscow, Idaho, and I have given him your address. And I don't think people realize, Steve, that this is the kind of stuff that you and your family and I'd imagine the other victims too. I mean, you guys have been having to deal with this for some time, but during the actual sentencing, what did you make of it?